Hey everyone, so today I want to talk about astrology. I told you guys I was going to talk about more astrology, so I'm pretty excited. I'm going to talk about Mercury in Pisces. Mercury rules over intellect, it rules over our communication style, and associated with two signs, Gemini and Virgo. So if you have Mercury in Gemini and Virgo, these placements, this is home for it, so it's comfortable. Mercury expresses itself to its like fullest capacity there. And then the opposite sign, so the polar opposite, is where it falls or debilitated. So the opposite of Virgo is Pisces, which is my placement, and the polar opposite to Gemini is Sagittarius. So these are places where Mercury doesn't really function its best. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just a challenge. And in life, sometimes things that are challenging is good for us. Like sometimes it's not doom and gloom, you know? But yeah, so my placement, Mercury in Pisces, it doesn't do well here because Pisces is like an ethereal, it's like mystical and imaginative, creative, expansive, and Mercury is very like communicative, logical, like it likes, to communicate certain points, and Pisces is kind of like all over the place. And Pisces is associated with Neptune. So sometimes, it can be super expansive, or just things can be very unclear in terms of communication. Hi, this is Editing Destiny coming through, and I want to mention I did say that Neptune is associated with Pisces, and it is in the modern astrology. In traditional astrology, Pisces is associated with Jupiter. So Jupiter is expansive, and Neptune is expansive in that it deals with the collective consciousness. But yeah, Jupiter is also associated with Sagittarius, which rules over the signs where Mercury falls in. And yeah, that expansive nature is not great for the the planet's expression. But yeah, in modern astrology, Neptune rules over Pisces. But if you follow traditional astrology, whatever, it's Jupiter. So yeah, I just want to put that bit in. So yeah, enjoy the video. And I definitely struggled with that. So I'm going to read an excerpt from AstroSeek. If you're not familiar with your birth chart, you can go to astroseek.com, put in your natal information, your name, your birthday, your time of birth if you have it, hopefully, and the location you were born, and you'll get a birth chart generated. But I like this website because they have like a pretty like brief description of each placement. And so I'm going to read it really briefly and just like bounce off of that. So it says Mercury and Pisces. People with Mercury and Pisces like art, mysticism, and psychology. These people speak with emotions. They have a sensitive mind that absorbs a lot of information. Ideas and solutions emerge easily without any effort. Because of this mental connection, they are sometimes not sure if their thoughts are their own. They, unfortunately, often resist the sensitivity of their mind. They doubt their credibility because it seems to them that some thoughts and opinions come from elsewhere. Resisting the sensitivity of their brain will eventually lead to certain mental exhaustion. However, if they stop worrying about it and let their ideas flow through their mind, these thoughts will give them great inspiration. So that's what it says about Mercury and Pisces. I initially had an interest in astrology, but I knew the basic three, which is sun sign, moon sign, rising. And I really didn't think about it until grad school. And I just was like, you know what? Let me look into my birth chart. And then when I found out that my Mercury was in Pisces, things started making sense because of the fact that that placement is considered to be debilitated. And it doesn't work well just because I majored in a lot of like science fields. Like I was a biology major, and then I switched to pre-med, and then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna switch to psychology. And I know just my way of navigating college, I felt like I was lacking. I felt like it was difficult for me to communicate in a way like acceptable to others. So I was like, okay, something is wrong. Like I definitely communicate in a different style, and maybe I'm not a great communicator. And then I realized, after like living with this placement, it's just that I need to like, I guess I'm very like emotional in how I speak. That being like Pisces is a water sign. And when I speak, I have to create a story. And so sometimes I provide like too much information and I overload in my communication style. But it's just me trying to connect on an emotional level and create like this picture. So when I'm speaking and communicating, like you get what I'm saying, you feel me. Like I'm like, you feel me, you feel what I'm saying. And that's very much so like Mercury and Pisces. Like they try to like connect via emotion. Yeah. So another thing that like rung a bell and it was like, oh, this makes sense, is the dreaminess of it, the escapism, right? So Pisces is known for escapism, it's known for fantasy. And I know like when I was going through college, like not even through college, just like my whole entire life, I dealt with something called maladaptive daydreaming. And I actually want to pull up the definition to that because that's like a real medical term and I don't want to like misquote it. Okay, so we're going to pull this up straight from Miss WebMD. And basically it says, maladaptive daydreaming is when you spend a large amount of time daydreaming. This behavior tends to be a way for people to live with mental health conditions such like anxiety. Maladaptive means this form of daydreaming can be a harmful way to deal with a problem. It can get in the way of your work, relationship, and hobbies. And so, yes, that is like I guess the medical definition of it. But yeah, absolutely. Like I would spend so much time on my computer, my laptop, listening to music and just get into like a fantasy space. I'm into anime, I'm into like comics. So I would get into that space and I would want to stay there, and I would literally like miss school so I can like daydream, or I would be in class and just sometimes like I'm just like not paying attention because I'm daydreaming. I can like intentionally daydream, and sometimes I dissociate and I'm not there. So I mean, that's been a challenge. And if you understand Pisces and just and if your Mercury's there, it's just like it makes sense to have this ability to just escape and to go off into other realms. Yeah, and that's just, I mean, today I don't struggle with that as much as I did, just because I'm a little bit more grounded in my life. I'm a mom now. I work, so I can't afford to daydream the way I did. I do miss that part of myself. Obviously, like it being my actual placement, it's like inescapable. So sometimes I do dissociate, or I can be like in a space of daydreaming, but it's not maladaptive, I would say, at this point of my life. I'm trying to think what else. I feel like I connect much better with water placements, like people who have their Mercury and water placements. Like my husband, he has a Mercury and Scorpio, and our communication is not great all the time, but we're able to kind of work and get through to each other with effort, and I think it's because he has that Scorpio water placement. He's trying to like understand, and he wants to understand. And so I guess, yeah, my advice for people who have Mercury in Pisces and are struggling with it, just hang with your community. Like, be around people who's going to be patient enough to allow you to communicate in the way you need to, and like allow you to express however you have to. Like, this world will probably judge us, and that's fine and that's okay, right? Like, I remember being a kid and it was very easy to be ditzy and be silly and to kind of like, you know, play like you're not as intelligent as you are. But like, once you allow people to like get to know you on a one-to-one level, and you allow people to like talk to you for a longer period of time, they will see your brilliance. They will see like, oh wow, like you are super intelligent, and you may be spiritual. Like I am spiritual. You know, my Mercury is in Pisces at the 29th degree. So it's just like, when it comes to spirituality and like communicating about those topics, like that is my interest. That's what I love. And my Mars is in Pisces too, so you already know. But yeah, like, just be patient with yourself and find people who are also going to be patient with you, because if they love you, they want to hear what you have to say. So before I end the video, I definitely want to list off some celebrities who have this placement, just because it's important to kind of look at people who have similar placements to us. It's like, it's kind of cool. It's a cool thing to do. So I went on Astro Charts and I looked up some celebrities that have this placement, and Maya Angelou is one, Nina Simone, Yara Shahidi, Justin Timberlake. Who else? I mean, they have a whole bunch of artists and celebrities. Al Green. I'm trying to list the non-white ones, because there's a lot of white ones. And you know what? If you're white, that's okay, but I just want to list people that I personally recognize. No offense. No offense to you all. Jordan Peele, wow, right, is another one who has Mercury in Pisces. So hopefully you recognize some of these celebrities and you also have this placement. If not, whatever. But yeah, comment down below. Tell me what your Mercury is in and what's your experience like. And thanks for watching my video. Bye.